This is The Brief on Newsfirst Digital.
A very good evening and welcome. This is The Brief at 7 on Newsfirst Digital. I'm Ramesh Irugalbandara.
And I'm Serala, Fonseka. Austin Fernando has stepped down from his position as Secretary to the President. The announcement was confirmed by President's Media Division.
On to a story that we are following right here at Newsfirst Digital. Minister of Finance and Mass Media Mangala Samaravira attended an event in Colombo today which brought together the heads of 55 state-owned enterprises. Now, during this meeting, the Minister of Finance expressed some interesting views on the performance of these state-owned enterprises. Let's see what he had to say.
Despite their strategic importance, the SOEs have not achieved full potential, which is reflected by its low return over assets ratio at 0.64%. The reason for such underperformance ranges from lack of good governance practices, including a lack of clear accountability mechanism, policy and legal frameworks, to a weak supervisory role. In the recent years, the performance of some SOEs has been a source of concern for the fiscal balance, especially last year. In 2017, 4 of the main loss-making SOEs were the Ceylon Electricity Board, Sri Lankan Airlines, Satosa, and Agriculture and Agrarian Insurance Board combined in losses. The combined loss was 84 billion rupees of these organizations. I may say this as a dismal performance that creates public outcry over the mismanagement of our national resources. We cannot pass on the cost of inefficiency onto the consumer or the general public, and therefore it is essential that SOEs eliminate management and inefficiencies prior to the implementation of fully cost-effective pricing. As the key players in our national ventures, you may have to relook at your operations seriously to achieve reasonable management improvements in the interest of fellow citizens.
Minister Samaravira mentioned about mismanagement in state-owned enterprises. Now, one of the key things that would help mitigate this mismanagement is the National Audit Bill, which was presented in Parliament today. It was tabled in Parliament and it was taken up for debate in Parliament today. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe opened the proceedings of this debate.
The House has been waiting for this piece of legislation for long, and the government and I have been criticized for the delay. We brought in the National Audit Commission by amendment to the Constitution. It was enshrined in the 19th Amendment. This law seeks to give the details for exercising the powers of the Commission so that it becomes an independent commission operating under Parliament. Now, what we have had issues have been, I thought I'll underline it, has been about the imposition through surcharges. Who has the power? Secondly has been the duties of the Chief Accounting Officer as Secretary and of the accounting officers. So these were issues that had been sorted. Even after we tabled the bill in April, there were still amendments coming in from some of the public bodies. But all have been accommodated now, and I hope these are satisfactory bill, and when it becomes law, we must give a chance for this law to come in, to be executed, and thereafter the Parliament can from time to time exercise the oversight powers to ensure what amendments are required. We can be happy that since 2015, after the election of Maithripala Sirisena as President, after the election of this Parliament, a total democratic structure has come into place, and you can enjoy the freedoms today. You have all the independent commissions. There will be shortcomings. Police Commission and all have shortcomings. We can correct those. But the fact is that we have put into place a structure where the executive or the administration can function and the judiciary can function without coming under undue political pressure.
Now, the National Audit Bill was a campaign promise given by the current administration as well as the current president. After 3.5 years in power, the bill has finally entered Parliament and is being debated. The concerns about this Parliament were that it is being watered down and that the bill would not empower the National Audit Commission to properly carry out its functions. These concerns were once again raised today after the Prime Minister delivered his statement. We will have a comprehensive report on this debate on our primetime news at 9 on TV1.
Beneficial owner of Perpetual Treasuries Limited, Arjuna Aloysius, and its CEO Kasum Palisena were remanded until the 19th of this month after being produced before the Fort Magistrate Court in connection to proceedings on the central bank bond scam case.
It was revealed in court today that W.M. Mendes and Company Limited, a subsidiary of Perpetual Treasuries Limited, which is at the center of the central bank bond scam, had issued 2,487 checks amounting to 1,134 million rupees between the period from the 31st of January 2015 to the 31st of September 2016. Additional Solicitor General Yasantha Kodaguda said certain checks had been issued in violation of monetary laws, adding that criminal charges could be filed under the Money Laundering Act. These revelations were made when the beneficial owner of Perpetual Treasuries Limited, Arjuna Aloysius, and its CEO Kasum Palisena were produced in court today. Senior Additional Solicitor General Yasantha Kodaguda informed the Colombo Magistrates Court today that a team of special prison officers discovered 3 mobile phones and 5 SIM cards in the prison ward of the remand prison in which Arjuna Aloysius and Kasum Palisena are being held. The Senior Additional Solicitor General said one of the mobile phones was found under the pillow of Arjuna Aloysius.
In some international news now, rescue workers, soldiers and engineers drilled through rocks last night in a cave in northern Thailand to create gaps from feeding water pipes and power cables through to a young soccer team trapped about 4 kilometers from the mouth.
Former Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak arrived in court late last night, flanked by a large number of police and media personnel. In a stunning fall from grace, Najib was charged in court as part of a probe into missing money at the scandal-tainted State Fund 1MDB. There were 3 charges of criminal breach of trust and 1 count of abuse of power in relation to suspicious transactions involving former 1MDB unit SRC International.
Each of the 4 charges carries a prison sentence of up to 20 years. The charge of using his office or position for gratification also carries a fine not less than 5 times the value of the gratification. Najib had pleaded not guilty to all charges. Police and anti-graft investigators have revived probes into the fund's missing billions since his ouster.
And that's a wrap of the brief at 7. As always, send in your thoughts and views through the comment section below. For Newsfirst Digital, I'm Ramesh Irugalbandara.
And I'm Serala Fonseka. Good night.